DEUCES WILD, bitches!
Bitches! Oh, look at you go. Switching it up.
I'm thrilled. I'm in the South. I thought I'd keep it kind of clean here for the Southern folk that don't appreciate all the bad language potentially that could be flowing through this fine establishment called the Residence Inn.
Residence in what part of the South?
North Carolina, in the Raleigh-Durham area, unless in case you want a prank call. Yeah, it is quite the I'd say establishment. I actually like a Residence Inn. Like there's a lot of space in here, and Biscuit's on his way. He gets in tonight. He's got a USA baseball thing going on this week, so should be fun to follow that and watch that. And I'm coming off a two medal performance thrill that happened over this past weekend at the Bristol Open PPA Tour. This is a 4-5 singles silver medal. And right here, my first 5-0 tournament thrill, mixed doubles 5-0, took home the bronze.
Took home the bronze. PPA. Let me guess. That is badminton on steroids, correct?
Badminton on steroids, kind of like if tennis, badminton, racquetball had a love child and nobody knew who the father was.
That's exactly what it is. The pickleball, ladies and gentlemen, that my man EB has been eat up with.
Thrill, I have a question for you.
Fire away.
Why is everyone so nice here in the South?
Because they go out west and they have their asses handed to them, so they come back home and mom and dad whoop their asses and tell them to get their shit back in line.
I can't believe, and I'm honest about it, like I can't go anywhere without engaging in conversation. Like people are fucking nice, man.
You know what? They're nice. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you. Please. All that sort of stuff. It's pretty refreshing in today's society. So I enjoy coming back to the South.
That's the truth, dude. So you were just out west. You went to San Jose, spent some time with the junior giants, let's call them. We'll get into that in a minute. But right now, let's start with the San Francisco Giants. 5-5 in their past 10, but they've lost 3 in a row. Obviously scuffling. 9.5 out in the division, but just 4.5 back in the wild card. It doesn't look great at this point. Obviously, they sold off some pieces, but what is it going to take for this team to get back into it and at least make it exciting down the stretch?
You know what? First and foremost, they got to play better at home. They are one of the last 12 at home. They've lost 11 out of 12. They've scored 2 runs or fewer, 9 of those 12. And so, you really just got to take care of your job at your own house. And, they've been swept twice, once by the Pirates, once by the Mets. They caught 2 games at the end of the Dodgers series. And then, they lost the first game to the Padres, and Robbie Ray's up tonight trying to right the ship. So, the boys need to start playing a little bit better at home, use the home field advantage, and swing the bats a little bit better.
So Robbie Ray has lost 6 straight starts. Got off to obviously such a phenomenal beginning to the season. Was an all-star, but things have not been going his way as of late, and quite frankly, the offense just hasn't been scoring runs for him either.
Yeah, no, not only him, but, Logan Webb only had 1 run to deal with last night too. So, it's just been going around. Everybody knows that, offense has been scuffling a little bit. Just, you got to find a way to pick it up. Somebody has to step up and say, hey, I'm the man and we're going to break out of this. And then also on top of that, this whole year, I can't remember two or three guys in the middle of the lineup getting hot at the same time for an extended period of time. Now, I'm talking about extended period of time. I'm talking about like a week. I'm talking about like this year. It hasn't been more than about 2 or 3 games. So we just need the guys in the middle of the lineup to do some damage, and then the other key components need to get on base. And so that's what I'm looking at seeing right now moving forward. We're in the darn near the middle of August. And like you said, we're only 4.5 back in the last wild card spot. That's not but a blink of the eye if you get hot. I mean, look at what's happened to the Brewers. I know you're going to talk about them, but look what happens when you get hot. I mean, you can just run and get ahead of the pack. So, I'm really looking forward to the Giants getting on a good run. They haven't been on a good run for a long period of time, and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed they can.
What would you say to all the naysayers, doubters, and detractors that are calling for Bob Melvin's head, saying that, oh, it must be the manager's fault for them not producing the way fans at least believe they should be producing?
If you're out there and you're watching the game, the manager's not making any decisions right now or this whole season long that have put this team in a bad spot. He hasn't done it at all. Bob Melvin's made some really good decisions. What it all boils down to, it boils down to the guys that go out on the field. You got to produce. You got to produce. And, there was a reason why, Buster got rid of some of the pieces there at the trading deadline because he didn't think, people were producing. And so, he wanted to shake things up a little bit. And it hasn't come around yet. I mean, we need, Rafi Devers has been swinging the bat better. Adames had been swinging the bat real well right around the All Star game. He cooled off a little bit now, and we need to get Wilmer Flores back in gear too. So, Dominic Smith's the one that's been hot as of late. He's got a 14 game hitting streak, but he needs some help in that lineup.
Yeah, it's interesting because you could even take it a step further. And obviously, usually it's the hitting coach that's the first scapegoat. It's the pitching coach if you're not throwing the ball well. I like to analyze internally. So if I am Buster Posey and I'm looking upon this operation, I'm watching the preparation that Bob Melvin is doing. I'm watching the preparation that Pat Burrell's doing, on and on and on in every department. And I'd be hard pressed to say, Melvin and Pat are probably the first two that people say, oh, well, this needs to be done or they need to do this.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. There's very few guys that I know that I've ever met that have more knowledge about hitting than Pat Burrell.
Yeah.
He is a thinking man. He's old school. He, I think, is also a very bright guy. He's analytical in everything. So I do believe that he has the potential to be an unbelievable hitting coach. Now, that said, it's up to the hitters. They got to fucking produce. And I don't know if it's lack of talent. I don't know if they're underperforming. But right now, it's been a very consistent issue. And it's the simple fact that they don't score any fucking runs, dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, oh God, I mean, you just can't blame it on the hitting coach or the pitching coach or the manager or whatever. I mean, they're doing their jobs. It just when you step in between the white lines, you have to do your job. And one of the big things, and this is what I prided myself on back in the day was hitting with runs and score position. You don't drive in runs, you're going to lose, and that's just the way it is. And we've had a rough go of that, pretty much all year long. And now, when runs are at a premium, like I said, I mean, 9 out of 12 games you scored 2 runs or fewer. It's like when runs are at a premium, when there's a runner on second base or a runner on third base, you have got to execute and find a way to get that run home and give the pitcher a little bit of a breathing room. And, I mean, we got a month and a half to do it. So the boys better pick it up. I'll be coming in, I know for a fact, end of September. I'm going to try to get out there before then as well. But, you know, hitting with runners in score position is a skill, and you got to practice it. And you can't get all caught up in the moment. You can't panic. You got to take kind of what comes your way. But then again, you also can't drive in runs if nobody's out there. The only thing you can do is hit a solo homer, or you become the guy that starts the inning off. So I love Pat Burrell to death. He and I talk all the time about hitting and about his approach and what he's telling the guys and all that. And believe you, coming from me, it is extremely solid. And so that's not the problem here. The problem is not Pat Burrell. Problem's not Bob Melvin. Problem is when you step in between the white lines, executing.
It's interesting because you did say something about practicing with runners in scoring position. One of the things that I used to do, and I credit Chip Hale for this, when I was with the Arizona Diamondbacks, we would go into the cage right before the game, and he'd throw me 7 minutes of batting practice. I wasn't taking a lot of swings, but every time he would throw a pitch, he would give me a situation. And say, for example, one of the situations would be runner on second base, 2 outs.
Yep.
Runner on third base, 1 out.
Yes.
And we go through all these things. Nobody on, nobody out. So basically, when I got up there in the game, I'd already gone through this, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour before with Chip Hale in the batting cage.
Yep.
And there was a sense of comfort that comes with it. So, I do think that, look, we're all held accountable. We really are. And ultimately, though, who needs to hold themselves accountable more than anybody? The fucking players. They have to go out there and perform to their capabilities. It is as simple as that. The coaches, the manager could do everything. But if those guys don't go out there and take accountability for their actions, take accountability for their preparation, it's on them.
Couldn't agree with you more. And, as far as, the situational hitting, all right, you just talked about it. I know that you work on it with the LTP dudes, and, I was just in San Jose. We worked on it down there. One of the things about the situational hitting, like you said, when you're in the cage and, you go, man on second base, 2 outs, you got to drive him in. A lot of people will hurry up and they just jump into batter's box and then they go through the swing and pop it up, or they don't execute. All right. When I was presented a situation, took a deep breath, took my time, got into batter's box and said, all right, where do I want to hit this ball? And tried to execute, instead of just hitting it out in the field, tried to hit it to a spot and execute kind of a smaller version of the whole game. And man on third base, less than 2 outs. Okay. All right. Take a deep breath, get in there. All right. I'm looking for something up I can drive, or if they said that the infield's playing back, I'm looking for something down that I can hit a routine ground ball. Okay. So you explain that to yourself. You slow the game down, you practice the situation, and you get really good at the situations. And that's what you just presented to the audience. And I'm just expounding on it a little bit more. And then when the game comes along, instead of letting the game speed up and get caught in all the emotions and stuff like that, step out, big deep breath, relax, get in there, get you your pitch to hit, and try to execute.
I love that, dude. And it reminds me of that big, deep breath that you took right
Yeah.
before you banged that baseball right back up the middle on the high heater against Mitch Williams.
Yep, exactly. And you know that right there, I got caught on that video, where Vin Scully said, in these moments right here, it's hard to breathe. And you see me go, just take a deep breath, it's like he couldn't have timed it any better, but over the course of my career, it happened hundreds of times where back out the batter's box, take a deep breath, gather your thoughts, relax yourself, jump back into batter's box, and let's go. Time to battle. And from now on out, we're at the middle of August. From now on out, there, and you even said it last time we were on the show, talking about the dog days of August. We're in the middle of them. All right. Now it's time to battle. Let's see what big boys are made of. All right. Are we dealing with a lot of men here, or are we dealing with guys who are gonna turn over and be wishy washy and all that? I want the guys to step up right now.
Well, look, dude, the New York Yankees, who they're just on in the background, have been absolutely fucking horrific. Terrible. Let's pump the brakes though for a second. And they've taken a lot of heat, including from me, saying that they don't play complete and total baseball. And I don't think they do. But there is a team right now that is the best team in baseball.
Oh
And
my God. I know where you're going with this one.
Thrill, they're doing it with all facets of the game: pitching, defense, base running. They're aggressive. They have really, in my humble opinion, zero superstars. This is a team that is led by Pat Murphy, who was the head coach of ASU when I was playing at UCLA. This guy is a fucking psycho, and I say it in a great way. Now, I also think that Pat, as he has aged, has also got more poignant and efficient and effective in his coaching style. But this is, in a lot of ways, America's team. This is the little engine that could. This is a team with one of the smallest payrolls in all of Major League Baseball, yet they happen to be the fucking best team, and they've won 10 in a row. They're on a roll again tonight, and I thought for sure tonight is the night it ends. They're facing Paul Skeens. What do? They light his ass up.
No, and I mean, we talk about it, and everybody in the chat room knows. I've said this before, man. That snowball gets rolling down the hill. Jump on board, baby. You ain't stopping that son of a gun. And the Milwaukee Brewers have been doing it from kind of middle of the season. They got hot, and they just been en fuego. And you talk about superstars. I mean, one of the guys who was he's now kind of an older guy is Yelich.
Yep.
I mean, he was kind of their
Yes.
superstar. But I mean, you sit there and you shake your head because it's like their pitching staff is throwing the ball phenomenal. You look up there, and then all of a sudden you go, "Oh Jesus!" They are plus 138 in run differential. They lead all of baseball in run differential. So, I mean, they're doing it pitching, they're doing it hitting, like you said, they're doing it defense, they're doing it base running, they're doing all the little things that need to be done in order to make it to the postseason. And in the dog days of August right now, they've won 10 in a row. They beat on Skeens already. They got him out the game in the fourth inning, and they're set to be 11-0 in their last 11. So.
Thrill, they're up 12-0 right now. They tagged Skeens, who's arguably the best pitcher in baseball. You want to hear Skeens' line tonight? 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, gave up 2 home runs to the Brewers. One of those coming by Bryce Terang and the other one coming from Sam Frelick. Are you fucking kidding me? Never mind. It's not even Sam Frelick. It's Sal Frelick. This is how anonymous the Milwaukee Brewers are.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, brother. But you know what? They're big leaguers, and they're playing like big leaguers. And they're, as we talked about just a little bit ago, they're getting their opportunities when runs in scoring position. They're not missing them. And, they're driving in the runs that they're supposed to drive in. And the pitching staff is going up there and chunking zeros. And all of a sudden, you look at the end of the day, they get a W on their hands, and they're high-fiving each other. So, they're doing it the right way. That's all I can say.
So Blake Perkins, their center fielder, threw out a runner at home plate the other day to win the game. It's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know. It's just what we do. And Thrill, to be totally honest, it's the baseball that you and I love. It's the baseball that anybody who has ever played and appreciated this game at a much deeper level than the way it's necessarily played right now will look at the Milwaukee Brewers in 2025, no matter how this fucking thing ends, and say, that was a fucking baseball team.
Yeah, you're right. And here we are, middle of August. We just got through talking about it. Okay. And it's a race. And for as good as the Brewers are playing right now, anybody can play that good if they get hot. So that's why I'm keeping my fingers crossed for the San Francisco Giants is get hot. You can make up these 4.5 games in this wild card and get, all up in the middle of things in a hurry. And then all of a sudden, guess what? You got the month of September to make a final push, and you're going to be playing in your division. So anyway, just my thoughts on that.
So just for fun, and once again, this is the best team in baseball. I kind of played this first name game with the Brewers because I fucked up Sal Frelick's name. I called him Sam Frelick. After that, tonight in the Brewers lineup is Collins. I had no idea what the first name of Collins was. It's Isaac. It's Isaac.
In other words, what we're doing is we're going to go through the lineup tonight and see if we've heard of these guys.
So I'm 0 for 2. It's Isaac Collins. I've heard of Collins, and I know him, but I could not have pegged the Isaac Collins. All right, the third hitter is William Contreras. Now I know William Contreras. I get it. Now don't confuse him with his brother Wilson Contreras, but William Contreras certainly could have gotten that one. Christian Yelich, who is the superstar that was a superstar. I mean, now he's 265, 23 homers, 15 bags. He's having a great fucking year. 801 OPS. He's not the superstar that he once was. After him is the Chicago White Sox throwaway, Andrew Vaughn, the former, number 2 or 3
No. He was wasn't he number 1 overall for
one. Did he go 1-1? I think he might have gone 2.
He's only 1-1 or 2. Former Cal Bear. I saw him play in college. I loved him, but I knew that the Giants would never get him because he'd never go that far down. He was with the White Sox, had some solid years, but they dealt him, and look where he's at now.
I mean, can you fucking say thank you? It's like when you were telling me with the Orioles when they dealt you to St. Louis.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he went from being on bottom 3 team in baseball to the best team in baseball. And, here he is starting at first base on a daily basis, a 3-run home run tonight. I go back and forth with him via text message. Just little words of encouragement. So on that note, let's go to the next Brewer in the lineup. Last name Durbin. First name Caleb. Would not have guessed that. Certainly have heard of him. Bryce Terang is the next guy. I wasn't missing Terang. Blake Perkins, I know. A lot of it because
Caleb Durbin was a middle round pick for the Braves.
Okay.
All right. Bryce Terang, he's kind of been there for a while. I mean, he was a first rounder for the Brewers
Yeah.
back in the day and came through their system.
Yeah, he's doing great. He's doing fine. I mean, he's having a nice year. If you look at their OPSs up and down, like it's nothing crazy. 768, 843, 753, 801, 713, 694, 755, 642, 800, and then 599. That's Jose Ortiz, who's the defensive, or Joey Ortiz, excuse me. I was fucking first name like number 9 that I screwed up with the Brewers. Joey Ortiz.
Yeah, but guess what? I mean, if you look at these dudes that the Brewers got, yeah, they got one or two dudes that are homegrown, but then it looks like, I mean, when you look through their lineup, it looks like they went and got via trades or however they did it. They got some prospects from other organizations. So like Joey Ortiz, you just said it. He's a 4th-round pick, and then the guy who's in the lineup before him, Blake Perkins, he's a 2nd-round pick of the Nats. So and then you talked about Vaughn being a 1st-round pick. So they went and got some of the prospects from other organizations, whether it be in picks, free agency, whatever it might be.
Well, dude, isn't the guy from the Giants over there? Yeah, the old assistant GM from the Giants ended up in Milwaukee.
I don't know if they did or not. I don't keep track of them when they leave us.
How's the let's see here. Is our chat firing tonight?
Oh yeah, chat's on fire. Chat's on fire. One of the things I want to address this real quick, and it always comes up when an offense is scuffling, is moving guys around the lineup. Okay, hey, look, what would we gain putting Matt Chapman 8th or something like that, or Jung Hoo Lee 8th? Nothing. I mean, these guys are being paid to be in the middle of the lineup, setting up the middle of the lineup, whatever it might be. So, scrambling a lineup just to make a change, that doesn't do anything for anybody. I've been on teams where they said, "Hey, we're gonna move you around." I'm like, "For what? Why are you gonna move me around? I'm the guy freaking doing the hitting. Move the guy who ain't hitting. How about that one?" And so that's kind of the thing.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, dude. Um, I think the philosophy in that is I need to get the guy who's hot the most at bats in the current moment.
Yeah, yeah,
Makes sense?
without a shadow of a doubt. And you know, there is something to be said for guys, moving up in the lineup, instead of getting 4 at bats, getting 5 at bats a game. There's something to be said for that. But me personally, just the way I looked at it, I don't want to come up when nobody's on base. I don't care if I come up 5 times. I don't want to come up when nobody's on base. I want to come up when somebody's on base or somebody's in runners in scoring position. That's what I do. And so you kind of play by ear from there. But Riv even just thanked me, but just moving people around the lineup, just to move them around the lineup, I've seen it plenty of times. It doesn't make a shitload of difference at all.
Ryan has a good question here. He says, "How did Bonds react to going to 5 when he came over to the Giants?"
Fucking loved it.
Of course he
He
did, because he was
loved
hit
it.
with guys on base every fucking time.
Let me tell you, if you got a strong middle of the lineup, if you got 2, 3, 4 that are pretty goddamn good, 5 is the RBI spot. And Barry came up. He had Robbie Thompson, me, Matt Williams coming up before him. He had fucking runners on all the time. That's why he drove in 100 and whatever and won the MVP that year. 5 is an RBI spot. Rusty Greer, as he matured in Texas, he took over the number 3 spot in the lineup, which is where I was. Okay. So Rusty jumped in number 3. Juan Gonzalez was number 4, who was 2-time MVP. And then they bumped me to 5. When they bumped me to 5, I drove in 123 that year. So guess what? 5 is the RBI spot if you got guys in front of you that get on bag.
Yeah, no doubt about it. By the way, just to tie a bow on this, the Milwaukee Brewers general manager is actually Matt Arnold, and he was named the 2024 MLB Executive of the Year. Dude, this does not even include what they've done this year. It's like they were celebrating this guy for what he did last year, and this year it's just taken on a whole new life of its own.
You got that right. You got that right. He did a hell of a job last year, and then he even got more legs this year, so he's off and running. But hey, since we're gonna kind of get out of this, I want to give a big thank you. Check this one out right here. This is the bourbon that I'm drinking tonight.
Oh,
it is called Field of Dreams, and it is made in Indiana. Joel Thompson. There you go. It's made
Joel.
in Indiana out of corn, and it's also made by a bunch of major leaguers, and they are using the proceeds to help all kinds of different causes and all that sort of stuff. And one of the neat things about this bourbon is let me get it for you. Is the cap, and the cap is Will the Thrill
Shut the
with the
fuck up.
signature and all that sort of stuff. And they're doing it with a lot of other major leaguers too. So if you want to buy a bottle of bourbon, it's got one of your favorite, older major leaguers and the cap on the top of it and all that, and the money goes to a great cause. Fire away. Once again, Field of Dreams.
How do we get that? Is Joel on tonight where he could send us the
put it this way.
The website?
I'll get it to Josh here in a second. Josh will post it. So all right, here you go. It's drinkfieldofdreams.com. Drinkfieldofdreams.com.
Will it protect your nuts or release your nuts?
Well, put it this way. My Richmond squirrel is protecting his nuts. And hey, while we're talking about it, I know Linda wanted to know about San Jose. I actually, believe it or not, I saw Rodolfo while I was there. Had a chance to have lunch. Thanks so much, Josh, for having lunch with me. But yeah, I mean, protect your nuts. I don't know what the deal is with these moron younger players, but they think that they don't have to wear a cup on the infield, and they catching these bad hops. And I'm tired of screaming and yelling at them for not wearing protective gear and watching them go down like Flynn.
Why is it that this generation doesn't like wearing a cup?
Dude, I don't know. Evidently, they're not really concerned that their family plans later down the road. Either that or they've never experienced like 9,000 million stars going through your brain and you sitting there going like that. They've never experienced that, and they want to. So for you morons out there that continue to not wear a cup on the infield, you're a dumbass, and I hope you wear one upside of it, and I hope you're out there on the ground freaking wheezing for air and let me come walk up to you and go, that's what you get, dumbass, for not doing it.
So good, man.
Swear to God, man. The last 2 years and going to see some of our minor league teams, I've seen a minimum 3 guys get cup checked, and down goes Frazier, and they One of those numbers, and I don't feel bad for him. Matter of fact, if anything, I laugh. I laugh because I said, "I told you so. Now you know."
Linda says actually it's free birth control. She's
I'm
got a good
liking it,
point.
Linda. And guess what? We weed out the meatheads. So there you go. These ones that get cup checked, they don't need to be parenting.
Oh man, you know what it is? It's the AstroTurf generation.
You're exactly right. You are exactly right.
All of
All
them
these
have
kids that
come up playing on AstroTurf.
yeah, I mean, they put on AstroTurf, these multi-use facilities and all that, and everything bounces true. And then they get on dirt and they play on a field that's chewed up in the minor leagues. And oh my God, watch out, Jack.
We've seen a lot of great plays throughout history, Thrill.
Yeah.
And I think potentially there was no greater play than when Ozzie Smith barehanded the ball behind him when he
Yep.
was with the San Diego Padres.
Yep. He was going up the middle. Ball took a bad hop, and he wound up having a barehanded behind him. That ball bounced literally 6 feet in one direction. That's how that ball wound up behind him.
Dude,
The ball was in front of him. He was on a dead sprint to get that ball up the middle. The ball hit something and went behind him. That's how he made that play.
so the other night, I don't know if you saw it, but Adolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers came in to make a play and he clanked it. But in the meantime, it's like he's coming in, it's kind of awkward. He clanks it, but he comes around and catches it bare hand. Look, this wasn't nearly what Ozzie Smith's play was, but I did think about Ozzie Smith's play when I saw it, just because
Right.
it was just this crazy natural instinct and reaction. And ironically, guys play better when they follow their instincts, when they don't think about shit, when they're just able to react. But this generation, with the AstroTurf infields that they grew up playing on, they just don't have that same sort of adaptability, mainly because they're not used to it. And it's not necessarily that it's not their fault, right? Because,
Right.
we all want to play on nice fields that
Right.
don't have to deal with the drainage issues and it rains and everything. But it surely has made for infielders that they don't adapt like they used to.
Yep. You're right. Josh even pointed it out. Robbie Ray had two runners on and balked in a run. So Giants are losing 1-0 on a balk. So
How'd that happen?
I don't know, some sort of balk. So who knows? But hey, before we get to San Jose, because I know Linda wants to know about San Jose. Your man, who you have been pulling for all year long, and my buddy is Bryce Eldridge. He has gotten hot here lately. I don't know if you've been following it, but
No.
he hit I don't know 5 homers in the last week or so. He is,
Seriously.
yeah, he's now got 12 and 43 RBIs, and he's hitting 252 in 140 at bats in AAA this year. So I also got good reports that he's playing better defense. He's getting more comfortable as he's getting reps. So that's a good sign for Bryce Eldridge.
Dude, he's 6'7"?
6'7".
I knew he was tall. I didn't realize he was 6'7".
6'7", and he's put together pretty good. You don't think he's as big as he is, and when you stand next to him, you go, "Oh shit, he's put together pretty goddamn good." So
Yeah,
hey,
looks like he's I mean, dude, he's got a career 882 OPS in the minor leagues.
that'll work.
Hell yeah, that'll work.
So, hey, while we're on this discussion too, we're giving everybody a little props for doing well. Hall of Famer Justin Verlander, tip of the cap for 3,500th strikeout of Nathaniel Lowe. Here's to you. Hall of Fame career Glad you were with the Giants for at least a little bit, and it was good that you had your 3,500 strikeouts celebrated by Giants fans.
How long does somebody like that hold on?
That's a great question. That's a personal decision, and I mean, I know that he wanted to, be part of this organization because he thought, he could rack up some wins in this ballpark and stuff. Uh, we hadn't given him a whole hell of a lot of offense, and it just depends on where he wants to go from here. I mean, he's 42 years old. It's like, how much longer you want to do it? And you're already a Hall of Famer. It's what do you want to add to your legacy? And some guys in the past have, legitimately played too long. It's like, hey, you've done everything you can do. You're a Hall of Famer. You're freaking dynamite. Walk away. But that is Justin's call. It's only Justin's call. It's nobody else's. And we'll see what he makes after the season's over with.
Yeah, him, Scherzer, Kershaw, they're all kind of in the same boat.
Yep.
Are we going to be sad to see him go? I mean, those are three guys that I kind of feel like are the last three.
Verlander, you talking about Verlander, Scherzer, and Kershaw?
Yeah, I just kind of feel like they're the last three connecting the past to the present.
Well, not only that, they're the three probably most dominant starters of their generation. I mean, for the last 15, 18 years.
Yeah.
So, that would be like, in my generation, having the Greg Maddux and the Tom Glavines and the Randy Johnson and the Pedro Martinez and the Roger Clemens.
Yep.
It's like
and they connected the past generation with the next generation.
Correct.
But it's the same thing, in basketball, and I've heard about this. But like, what happens when Steph Curry goes? What happens
when
LeBron goes? What happens when KD goes? Those are the three that they're linking the past with the next generation, and then when those guys are gone, there's no link to the past.
You got it.
It's kind of sad.
But that's the thing about the game. And you figure that out, especially as you get towards the end of your career. When you're thinking about, okay, this might be it. I might want to go home and, be with Tara and be with Biscuit and all that sort of stuff. You sit there and you think, you go, fuck, I can walk away right now. The fucking game's going to march on. The game's going to march on. It ain't going to miss a beat whether Will the Thrill or EB is playing, not playing, what. This game is going to march on. And, you just want to leave a little legacy there. And, for me personally, it was, somebody handed me the game. Mike Krukow, Bob Renly, Mike Lacoste, whoever. Don Robinson, Rick Russell, they handed me the game. Now, all I'm trying to do is hand the game down to the next generation of Giants. You are handing the game down to the LTP dudes. You're going to the 12s and 13s and 14s, and you're handing it down to that generation. So, from a professional baseball player's standpoint, to hand the game down to the next generation, it's kind of our job. That's first off. And then second off, I want the game right now to be in as good a position as it was when I was playing.
How do we get there, though? Because it's not.
It's not. It definitely is not, without a shadow of a doubt. There's way too much bullshit involved, too many fucking rules. Keep the fucking commissioner out of everything. Stay the fuck out of it. Let the players play. And, let's get back to having a good crop of players that are fucking hard-nosed and not a bunch of pansies and babies.
So that's why I think the Milwaukee Brewers could be the best thing that have ever happened to the game of baseball.
That's a great call.
Especially in 2025.
That's a great call because here's what's going on. You're also looking at it and going, they're doing it with a bunch of dudes that are going out there and freaking competing. They're not worried about analytics. They're not worried about this. They are competing on an everyday basis. It doesn't matter who I put on the field. He's coming in there and he's competing and he's trying to win a job, just like the number 4 hole hitter. So,
dude, they lose. They lose Corbin Byrnes, right? Like their best pitcher.
Yeah.
They end up every single year it seems like they lose another dude. They lose their manager this year. Their fucking manager, dude. And then here comes Pat Murphy like, hey, no big deal. Now, look, I want people to understand. Craig Counsell specifically handpicked Pat Murphy because he was his coach at Notre Dame, and he said is the best baseball coach that I've ever played for, and you're going to be my guy. And so, in a lot of ways, Counsell still deserves credit, and the Cubs are having a fantastic year, a fucking fantastic year. So, we're going to see both of those teams in the playoffs. And Craig Counsell is one of my favorite teammates of all time, just a dude and a professional. But overall, these guys are baseball players, man. And you're right about the analytics thing. It's like enough's enough. Enough is enough. And that's it. Thrill. So give me a second here.
We got all right. While you got a second, we got Mr. Adames is up right now. Runs on first and third, 1-1 count. Actually, now a 2-1 count. 1 out, and he's facing Nestor Cortez. Used to be the starter with the Yankees, left-handed pitcher. Not overpowering, a lot of off-speed stuff. This is a perfect guy right here to look off-speed and get you an off-speed pitch and whack a sac fly in the center field or right field or something.
Oh, shit. Okay. Here we go. Runners at first and third. A chance to get right back into it. Adames pulls the ball down the line. I didn't even realize this was on behind me. The Giants wearing their psychedelic acid tripping uniforms tonight.
Yes.
Infused with not only CBD, but THC as well.
Yes, and flipping in some sort of purple. Why we don't ever have purple in any part of our organization.
Well, Willie Adames strikes out, and he's walking back with his purple cleats. This is a weird game. Oh, no, he's not wearing his purple cleats. Maybe if he had his purple cleats on, he's just fucking late, dude. He's just late. There's no other way to put it. He's late.
Yeah, he looked like he was looking for something off speed, and he didn't get it, and he couldn't do the emergency hack.
Oh, here we go. That's a swinging fucking bunt, dude. This is where the Giants' luck turns for their entire season. Right here, right now. That's a knock.
Look at that right there. How about that? Go ahead on, Wilmer. Shot placement, baby.
So I got a buddy of mine. His name's Joey Bag of Donuts.
Oh, my
God. He always would say, he said, Burnsy.
Oh, God. Here we go. Let's watch it. Spin fair.
Look at that thing. Take it easy, take it sleazy, take it any way you can get it, preferably sleazy. That's Joey Bag of Donuts. That's what he used to tell me.
All right.
I'm like, Joey, you're a sick fucker.
Is up with 2 runners on. Come on, Matt. Time for you to get hot. You've been scuffling a little bit here lately. This could be a big at bat for the Giants organization and Matt Chapman if he can come through right here.
The Padres just a half game behind the Dodgers. Thrill. How about that?
Yep. Nipping at their heels. They got hot too. This is the second. I think this is the second run that the Padres have been on where they've been hot. Because didn't they get there it was before the All-Star break, but didn't they get hot in June or end of May, something like that?
Yeah, they've had a couple of stretches.
Yeah. Hey, while we're talking about it, and we even brought up Bryce Eldridge earlier, But one of the new Giants is Drew Gilbert that we got from the New York Mets in the Tyler Rogers deal. And Drew Gilbert is a left-handed hitting outfielder. I had Drew Gilbert in fall league last year with Bryce Eldridge. Good player, pretty good bat-to-ball skills. Got some power in there. Got his first major league hit the other day. So I'm wishing Drew Gilbert mucho success to help the Giants down the stretch.
You see that play in right field he had the other day?
I did.
I mean, it was sick, dude.
Yeah.
Face
Yeah,
plant, playing his first game at Oracle Park. Just a fucking savage play for someone that has never played there before. Like a really difficult play. It's the hardest right field to play in all of baseball. It is.
No, by
all
far.
baseball.
By far. And he did a good job. So, one of the things, and most everybody that's in the chat room, except the people that are, out of state and all that. One thing is it's bricks out there, but the facade on the top is actually like plywood. And so if you're playing the outfield and the ball and you read the ball hitting the bricks, it's going to ricochet, and it's going to ricochet big time. But if you're out there and you read it being up high and it hits like where Levi's is and stuff like that, that ball hits and comes straight down. It's like dead as can be. And that's one thing that Mr. Gilbert is going to have to work on. I'm hoping they're working with him on it. If not, I will be talking to him when I get to San Francisco about that.
I like that. When's your next trip to San Francisco through?
As of right now, it's end of September, but I'm going to try to make one earlier if I can.
Okay.
All right. Let's get to the San Jose Gigantes.
Yeah. Let's get to them, dude, because you just spent a good amount of time out in San Jose. The future of the San Francisco Giants has always gone through San Jose. So thrilled. After a week in San Jose, what are your thoughts on the future of this organization?
Well, if my week in San Jose is any indication, the future is bright for this organization. They had, oh my God, let me go to the roster right here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We had 13 guys on the pitching staff that were 94 or above consistently.
Shut the fuck up.
Consistently, and had a big time mix. Had fastball, slider, changeup, fastball, curveball, slider, change, fastball, slider, split. I mean, all of them had good, what we would call arsenals, and all of them used their arsenal extremely well. Let me go to this guy right here. Junior Marte. He is 6'5", 210. We got him in the trade with Kansas City for Yastrzemski. Really low-key type of guy, and just, kind of like a Randy Johnson. When he stepped towards home plate, it looked like he was right on top of you. And, he had to get the nerves out the way, got the nerves out the way in the first inning, and the last 3 innings he threw were just spot on. Let's see who else we got here. Oh, this kid right here is one of our draft picks. First time I've got a chance to see him in person, watch him on video a lot. Guy's name's Jacob Bresnahan, left-handed starter, 6'4", 200, 210, something like that. Really good shit. Fastball, slider, changeup. And he went through and absolutely dominated. He threw 6 innings, gave up 1 hit, punched out 10, and made it look easy. New guy we got. Just got him to San Jose maybe 2 starts ago. Luis Delatorre. Not a big, huge guy, probably 5'11", 6 foot, but uses like big quads and big calves and throws, low to the ground. He was throwing 95, 96, left-handed with a hook, curveball, and changeup. He made it look real easy. We got another kid, Hunter Dryden. He and Nico Mazza. Both of those kids were 94, 95, slider, changeup, made it look easy. I mean, when I was there, I was so impressed at the pitching staff. The pitching coach there is Dan Runsler, who used to
I
be,
remember Dan Runsler.
Runs was one of our pitchers. In the World Series years, he's got a ring. He's been in San Jose for a few years now, doing a hell of a job. And these freaking kids respond to him. First off, they got great shit, but then they're listening to his tutelage and they're going to, using their whole arsenal and not being predictable on what they're throwing. And these guys were dominating the other team while I was there.
Thrill Jose Iglesias just went bridge off the top of the fucking car sign, man.
God
Padres up 3-1.
3-1. Ah, shit. Well, offense, you guys need to come through it in life. So
there's your boy Devers at first base.
Yep. Devers is at first. So what do we have? Infield hit right there.
Yeah, it's a slow roll up to the middle.
Okay,
that's a hit.
All right.
Yeah.
Our first round pick and our third round pick went to San Jose while I was there. First round pick is a shortstop by the name of Gavin Killen. And then the third round pick is an outfielder from Rutgers by the name of Trevor Cohen. And both of those guys were there getting their feet wet, first ever chance in pro ball. So it was good seeing those kids. Needless to say, this is the first of many games that they're going to play in pro ball. And hopefully we get a chance to see those guys down the line with the San Francisco Giants in the major leagues. By far and away, the best player on the team.
This is what I wanted to hear. I love
it. Number 4 pick from last year, Dakota Jordan, who is a Mississippi State guy. So I knew Dakota before. I knew Dakota before he got to the Giants. And, dude, he's having a monster year. He's the MVP candidate in the league. He's hitting like 315, 18 homers, 82 RBIs.
Oh, fuck.
Unquestioned leader of the team. But the only problem was he had a little oblique injury. He came back from the oblique injury, played the whole week while I was there. And then Sunday afternoon, he blew it again. So he might be done for the season. But
that's fine, though. Right? He's not coming to San Francisco this year.
He's not coming to San Francisco.
You proved your worth.
And on top of that, I've already told him. I said, look, make sure you get this 100% well for spring training next year, because when you come into spring training next year, I'm not expecting you to go to Eugene. I want you to blow everybody's doors off and go to frickin' Richmond, go to Dublin, skip a whole goddamn league. So he's capable of doing that. There's an interesting player that is playing for San Jose. I was in San Jose last year when he got called up, and he's there again this year. Good kid, great sense of humor, the whole works. Named Lisbel Diaz. He's an outfielder, tall, skinny kid from Cuba, and great with the teammates. Everybody loves him. A lot of fun to be on the team with. works extremely hard, plays a great outfield. Matter of fact, he threw out the winning run at home plate yesterday, or excuse me, on Sunday. He threw out the winning run at home plate on a BB that he threw from left field. He made a jumping catch in left. He went into the screen in left and made a diving catch. And so just a great kid. And I really pull for Lisbel Diaz.
Lisbel Diaz, Biba Cuba. That
Cuba.
is
And
potentially the future of the San Francisco Giants organization. Thrill, where did you stay in San Jose?
I actually stayed in Campbell, Marriott Courtyard, and it was nice. And 10 minutes all the way to the ballpark on the interstate, piece of cake, easy to get to and back. And needless to say, I mean, when I go to the ballpark, I'm at the ballpark all day long. So
Yeah.
I just used the hotel to put my head down, and that was it. But I mean, it was great. It was great. And San Jose was great. The weather was awesome. Got a chance to get a lot done.
Who's the manager in San Jose?
Manager is one of our utility guys from back in the day. Never made it to the major leagues, but had been in the minor leagues his whole time. Edwin Villegas, and I've been knowing him for I couldn't even tell you how long. The hitting coach is somebody you know really well, Travis Ishikawa.
Shut the fuck up.
Another one of the World Series, big deals for the Giants. Got a big swing in the World Series for us, and he is the hitting instructor. So they got a former, major leaguer World Series champ as a pitching coach, major leaguer former World Series champ as a hitting coach, and then they got a manager that has been through the ringer. So really good.
How do you think Ishikawa, who is known for one swing in his entire career, like nothing else, how does he deal with that?
You know what? That's a great question because I've actually been around where kids have asked him, hey, did you play in the big leagues? And I'm like, oh my God, it's like, Jesus Christ. If you're going to ask that question, you idiots always Google everything. Google before you ask that question. And,
well, especially Ishikawa, because that was, look, dude, as big as your hit was up the middle against Mitch Williams, and it was fucking gigantic. In my little, childhood world at 12, 13 years old, like there's nothing bigger. But there's no question, like Travis Ishikawa, his hit was even bigger. This was the fucking, literally, it was a Bobby Thompson. It was a hit heard around the world. The Giants win the pennant. The Giants win the pennant. Win the pennant. But, the major league career was meh.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. In order for Travis to get to the major leagues, to have that shot hit around the world, he had to work his ass off to get through the minor leagues and all that sort of stuff. And he is sharing his experiences, with these kids, and they're doing a pretty good job of listening to him. One of the things
he's 41 years old now.
Yep, 41.
Yeah, are you ready for his? All right, he played 8 years. Parts of 8 seasons in the big leagues, 255 career hitters, 712 OPS, 23 homers, 137 runs driven in across those 8 years. Yep. Wow. Okay. But arguably the biggest hit in Giants franchise history. I think I think of Bobby Thompson. I think of
at that time that was one of the biggest hits. So
well, of all of the 2010, 2012, 2014 World Series run hits, I think that was it. I think that was if I'm going to think of one hit, if I think of one pitch, it's going to be Sergio Romo with the fastball down
Yeah,
the middle, freezing up.
yeah,
I think it was Miguel Cabrera. And if
yeah,
I think of one hit, it's going to be Travis Ishikawa.
yeah.
So cool.
Agreed, agreed.
Isn't that
Hey,
why we love this game?
but that's exactly why we love this game. And you know what? Ryan even brought it up just now. Dude, if you're a major leaguer, you're in the top whatever percent of the percent. I mean, so the fact that Travis made it there. He's there parts of 8 years and 100 and like you said, 123 homers or whatever. Dude, he had a nice career, and for him to be in San Jose, giving back to those kids. I mean, I'm hoping that they realize, how good they got it, because this last week they had him, and then they had the Thrill, and the Thrill was laying some good vibes on everybody.
As you should, and as you always do, dude.
Yeah. I walked up to one kid and I go, "What are you going to look for right here?" And he goes, "Well, I'm going to look in." I go, "Why look in when you're going to get fastballs away?" And he goes, "Really?" And I go, "You're going to get 3 fastballs away in the first 4 pitches." I said, "You better go look fastball away." I said, "And if you want, move up on the plate." He goes, "Oh, okay, okay." Fastball, 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 all the way. Thank you.
What do you do?
He popped up and he came back to the dugout and he's sitting on the bench, right? And I go sit right next to him and I go, what were the pitches that you saw right there? He goes, all fastball away. I said 5 in a row, right? He goes, yeah. I go, do you think I pretty much told you what was coming? He goes, yeah. I go, should you probably listen to me next time? He goes, yeah. I go, well, you just cost yourself an at bat. I said, next time, fucking listen.
I hope those kids appreciate what they have coming at them.
Oh God, it's funny. It's funny as all get out. Funny as all get out. Some of the Latin kids, man. I was messing with them so hard, and they were giggling and laughing because when the game's going on, there's all the starting pitchers sit together, and then some of the Latin kids sit
Of
together, and
course,
all
yeah.
that, right? And so I went up in the clubhouse and I grabbed my passport and I came down. There's like 5 Latin kids all sitting together, and I walked up to them and I go, "Oh yeah, is this the barrio?" And they all looked at me and said, "See, Trio did the barrio." I go, "All right, I got my passport. I can get in the barrio." And they all started laughing. They beating on one another. They're like, "Trio, he's silly. He's silly." Oh yeah, we silly. All
Oh, it's
right.
so good. I got my pasaporte, man, in the
I got my
barrio.
passport. I can come in the barrio, baby.
Josh said, and Josh, you got a really good point here. Panda's 3 home runs.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's certainly something that I'll remember. Ryan earlier had asked, like, what were guys throwing in Double A, Triple A back in your day? It was never about velocity, right? Like
No.
the velocity in the minor leagues was pretty similar to the big leagues. It really just went down to location, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if you look at the progression of velocity over the years, it's steadily ticked up. Where I don't know, say I first came to the league and it was 91 was the average fastball when I came to the league, and it was about 93 when I left, and it's like 2010. And it's just continued to tick up, man. I mean, the average fastball now, I think, is like 94 miles per hour. But there's been this progression. The guys are throwing fucking harder than they ever have. I don't know, dude. Speed never bothered me. It was always just a matter of just getting set a little bit earlier. So it comes down to location. It comes down to pitching. It comes down to having knowledge of the strike zone, taking balls, swinging at strikes.
The big thing that I saw coming from college, SEC program, all that sort of stuff, to go into high A ball was a little tick up in velocity, but then a tick down in guys knowing where it was going.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
they had a bunch of dudes that were just throwing the crap out of it, had no fucking clue where it was going. And then the next year, I mean, I hate to say it. I don't want to belittle it, but it was actually in my brain. It was actually a little bit easier because I'm in spring training with major leaguers, and they're actually hitting their spots. So when I look for something, it was in that spot. It wasn't, I'm looking down and away, and something's at my dome. That kind of shit. They didn't miss by 4 feet. So anyway,
Thrill. I got to go get the kid at the airport, but this has been a fantastic show as always, and good to have you back.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. Let's see what we got.
What is next week?
Next week is Tuesday. I might be able to make it. I might not. I'll let you know.
I like that. Always keeping everybody on their toes.
Yeah, no, I mean, put it this way. I mean, I got one of our outdoor shows here, so I might be able to make that.
Oh,
go for an hour and then come back here and then do the show. So
if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No big deal. Let's get the fucking Giants to play some fucking decent.
Yeah, no, let's get the Giants on a freaking roll. Hey, next week let's win 6 out of 7 or something or whatever. Here's another thing too. We're running out of time, but there's still time. But you need to kick it in gear now. Now. You don't need to kick it in gear next week because you've wasted some time. And especially here, because you're playing the Padres, they're in your division. You need to win in your division.
In all due respect to nasty Nestor Cortez, he's not that nasty. So fucking get your shit together and go pound it.
He's an American League. He's an American League kind of dookie baller. He throws the kitchen sink at you. So you got to pick a pitch. You got to stay on him and drive him up the middle the other way. And when he makes a mistake, capitalize.
I mean, Ramos took the changeup for the strike and then swings up the changeup to the ball.
See ya. And that's the thing. I mean, for us as a team, generally, we've had problems with guys with the good off-speed stuff.
Oh, they got to fucking figure it out. I don't got it. Whatever it takes, they got to figure it out. Hopefully, they get back into it and at least make the last month of the season entertaining. They basically have about 2-3 weeks to get their shit together, and then in September we have something significant to talk about when it comes to the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, no, totally agree. All
right, Thrill. When in doubt, protect your nutsack.
That's right. Hey, protect your nuts. All of you minor leaguers out there, all of you LTPers out there, all of you high schoolers out there, if you play on the infield, protect your nuts.
All right, Thrill. Have a great week, man, and then hopefully we'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey, tell Tara to ship all that shit out. We got people that are waiting on their DEUCES WILD stuff. They still haven't got it.
No, it's coming. It went out Friday, apparently. It's coming. It's coming. So I should be here with the next day or
two. UPS lady to get on the shit.
Hey, and by the way, I'm sorry. It's NoFilterSpiritSale.com. NoFilterSpiritSale.com. You get the DEUCES WILD shirt. You get all the other No Filter Network gear. NoFilterSpiritSale.com. You're welcome. This gear is fucking awesome.
It is. Ladies and gentlemen.
One last thing for you, buddy.
Check ya.
See ya.